Welcome back to the Proving Grounds Garage. I'm Miriam, I'm here with Nick and Lemmy, and today we're gonna be talking about some of the best and worst jobs in the shop. So sometimes a job's pay and how much you like that job are not interconnected, but overall, what are some of the worst jobs that you guys have performed?
Oh boy, I guess I'm gonna attack this sort of holistically, right? So I think the worst jobs are on vehicles that are heavily rusted or abused.
Like all of your vehicles?
Yes, right. I hate working on my own stuff. It's the worst. Any type of jalopy that's like just been held together, spit and baling wire, and no matter what you're getting into, 5 people have been there before and done the job wrong. That stuff stinks. I also don't love too when an engineer has gone rogue, right? And they've taken liberties and redesigned what should be something conventional and easy into a complex something or other. And I recognize not always the engineers, there's lots of other factors, but I don't like when I get into something and it turns out that it's entirely different and now my life is becoming miserable. That's not great. Yeah. What about you guys?
Yeah, for me, I prefer to stay away if I can, not take on, exhaust manifolds and things like that, just because I don't want to be dealing with broken studs. That's like the bane of my existence is, manifold job on like an old, Chevy pickup,
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
right in my wheelhouse, baby.
So for me, exhaust manifolds, O2 sensor, quick O2 sensor change. When it's all, the bung is all destroyed and you have to actually now take out the exhaust, weld in a bung, those always seem like a quick job, not too bad, and then they end up terrible.
Yeah, maybe one of the common factors is all of a sudden these are those jobs that spiral out of control, right? It's supposed to be a quick in and out, and now all of a sudden you're making a project, you're married to this vehicle. Yep. Those are not good
broken
jobs.
bolt, that's it. 2-hour job becomes 6 hours.
Yeah, no fun. No fun. So I'm in the unique position where I'm in the automotive field, but I've never actually worked a flat rate job. But I know that you have. So what is a job that you really like, but it does pay poorly?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. So I think there's a few of them, right? I love antique stuff, right? I just have a predilection for old junk. So I like working on older vehicles. It's just fun for a number of reasons. I like taking on a job too where I'm learning something, even if it's a newer vehicle, whatever, it doesn't matter. If I'm not slammed busy, even if I'm gonna lose my keister on time, I still like learning something new. That's kind of cool. I take a little bit of pride in doing something nobody else can do. That's always fun. And then also something that's just sort of like a break from the norm is also great. Like my hydraulic pump on my tractor blew up not too long ago. I'd never rebuilt one of them, but it was just pretty standard operation, but that was kind of cool. I got to learn how to do that, so I enjoyed that. What about y'all?
So for me, having my own performance shop, there was a lot of jobs that I loved doing, but they paid poorly, and it wasn't necessarily because they took a ton of time, but I would just spend a ton of time on it, So like doing an engine job, I love doing big projects like engines, but obviously being meticulous, changing hoses and, going over the engine before you put it in, you never really can, account for all that time. So I would say an engine job is probably one of my favorites. It doesn't pay as good as it should.
Could I modify my answer to, and hearing you talk about that too?
Sure.
So in your line of work, right, performance work was routine, right? You did it all the time.
Yep.
Probably was not sexy or special for you. Everything I was working on was commuters, right? Like very rarely did we get like any call for anything. But so even if somebody came in and they had a catback exhaust or a new set of wheels and tires, I did enjoy doing some performance work, even if it maybe didn't pay badly, but didn't pay any better than a regular job.
Right.
I just kind of liked it because A, it was a little bit different. B, it's always cool when somebody wants to make their car improve their vehicle.
Yeah.
Right.
And then also the customer is always like kind of excited about it. It's nobody's excited about like buying just a new muffler, but if you're buying something that sounds cool and looks nice, people get excited and like that's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's true. Never looked at it that way.
Yeah, so I really relate to what you said about enjoying the jobs where you get to learn something new. And I'm really lucky in that I've gotten into the automotive industry and I'm not flat rate. So I get to take my time and really learn things without having to worry about the clock.
Helpful for sure.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. So on the flip side of that, what jobs do you hate but pay really well?
For me, I know like oil changes, things like that. Those quick in and out jobs, pay half hour, you can get done in 15 minutes. They pay really well. But for me, I don't want a million jobs. I'd rather not bring cars in and out of the shop. So I prefer bigger, bigger projects. So So for me, I'm gonna have to say I hate doing oil changes.
Are you getting too old to set the lift, buddy?
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. 25 years, you know, get on your knees to set a lift.
I guess I got a couple answers to this. So I don't love jobs where it's a big job, right? So like, let's call it a motor replacement, or you're doing a trans, or you're pulling a diff out and, you know, throwing something there. It's a lot of money, right? Like it's a big job with a lot of hours.
Right.
But I never seem to do very well on it because there's always a million little things that slow it down. I don't wind up doing as well as I think I'm going to do. So there's that aspect. I would say more acutely, I got to be honest, I don't really love doing drum brakes. I am just, I do them infrequently enough that I'm never quick at them. It always takes longer than it should, and it's still a good paying job.
Right.
But I just wish they were discs.
Right.
Yeah. I hate drum brakes too.
Yeah, I would also say like ball joints. That's another job. You know, that they pay well, but you know, you're always running into rust and major issues. You know?
Sometimes it gets to be a bit of a bear.
Right. So we kind of touched on this topic earlier when I talked about how I really don't like balancing tires, but how do you guys feel about the more menial jobs like oil changes or tire repair?
I don't like to bring cars in and out of the bay, so I hate that kind of work. I don't mind doing tires. I don't mind working on a tire machine, but anything that has to bring a car in and out, I'd rather have a bigger project.
Right.
I consider menial work also like sweeping the floor, so I love doing that. I like organizing and cleaning. It's not really working on a car, but you have to do it if you're working a shop. You gotta maintain your space. So
that's my favorite part too. Keeping it all clean, organized, and nice.
So maybe I'm the odd man out here. I don't mind what I think everybody's going to call menial work, right? I mean, I got my start doing oil changes and rotations, and hey, if that comes in on a ticket, then well, you know, whatever, so be it. I don't mind doing it. It is nice when you can sort of parlay that into something else, right? You can sell a bigger job. You can you find something else on there. To your point, it kind of makes it worth the time of taking a racket, you know, pick it up, look at it, etc.
Absolutely.
But even if I got a steady diet of oil changes and rotations, right, and they're paying the bills, that's fine. I don't mind also too walking out of the lot to fill up somebody's tire, or you know, change a set of wiper blades real quick. I mean, is it glamorous? No. I mean, you're not going to sit there and take the ASE exams on wiper blade replacement, but whatever, it pays the bills, feeds the fam, like that, I'm good with that.
Yep.
Yeah, what do you hate about balancing tires so much?
I don't like putting it on the machine. I feel like every single time I put it on, it's not quite centered properly, and then I have to loosen it again, and especially if it's a truck tire, it's just a whole process that I am not a fan of. I'll do it, and I'll get it done right. And maybe my problem is that I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to that kind of thing. I need to see all the zeros. If it's not like that, it's a problem. You know, it might take me like an hour, but gosh darn it, those tires will be balanced perfectly. So to wrap this up on a positive note, we've talked about all the things that we don't like, but what are your guys' favorite jobs to do in the shop?
I mean, for me, I love complex, in-depth jobs, like a timing job. Timing job's gonna be my favorite just because I'm kind of focused in, honed in, and nothing else around me matters. I'm just working on that job. That's gonna be one of my favorites. You know, vehicle dependent.
That's pretty fair. Miriam, what do you like doing?
I really like spark plug jobs. I think that it's very simple, it's easy, it's not super involved. Why are you laughing?
It's funny.
There's some nightmare spark plug jobs out there, though. Like I'm thinking like an LT motor and a Camaro.
See, maybe it's just because I don't have as much experience as you guys.
How do you like doing Subaru spark plugs?
Okay, actually, I have done Subaru spark plugs before, and it was the worst. So
awesome.
so since I'm so new, I kind of enjoy doing everything because it's always something new for me to learn and some more experience for me to gain. So
good answer.
Thanks.
Do you want to tell her that's gonna fade, or do you want me to? I really like the weirdo stuff. I love doing jobs that are a little bit strange. I think some of the stuff that nobody else likes doing, I like getting after. But I think when it comes right down to it, if I'm doing this for pay, and we all are, I like gravy work, baby. Let me get that easy stuff. So fluids, filters, belts, hoses, rotating electrical. That's the stuff I want to see rolling in. If I got a service writer or a shop foreman giving me that stuff all day long, I'm in good shape. Happier than pig and slop.
Nice.
Yeah.
The only problem with those small jobs is when something goes wrong, it could double your time.
Catastrophe.
Where if you have a big job and something goes wrong, it might only affect it by 10%.
If you work quick enough though, and you got a couple bays, you can just bounce off one to the other.
That's true.
Well, although in fairness, that's a lot of set and lift.
Yeah. Well, as long as I'm bouncing back and forth.
I think that probably ought to round it out. You guys know what we like. I'm guessing you guys probably like something similar, or maybe it's different. So pop down there in the comments. Let us know what's going on. Check out some of the other stuff we got on ShopPress at shoppress.com. For Nick and Miriam, I'm Lem. We're out of here.